Hello. How's everybody doing? Gonna be starting soon, but as always, just checking in with you guys before we officially start. So, yeah. Hello. I don't know why, Kevin, when I read that, I was like, hello, Josh. I don't know. It's like reading it in a wrestler's announcement voice, kind of a style. Oh, and Vin is here as well. Hello. Got my two mods. How am I? I am doing not too bad, not too bad. I before I started streaming, I went to the mall and bought some Dr. Scholl inserts for my Converses because they were feeling a little flat. When you're walking in them, they're fine, but then the moment you start standing for like a little bit too long, they get a little bit sore. Your feet you kind of start noticing how uncomfortable Converses are. Yeah. Oh, I didn't buy new shoes. I just bought like some Dr. Scholl inserts, but just for the heel, just for the back part of it, so that there's just a little bit more cushion. So yeah, you need the inserts. Yeah, you definitely do. Yeah. I was wondering if I should have gone like the whole thing, but I feel like it's really just the heel part that matters. Yeah. Adds like a year of life to them. I am a little bit okay, well, I don't know. Maybe it's just I'm overthinking it, but I took a look at the bottom of my shoes, my Converses, and they're pretty new. I think I haven't worn them too long, but I'm surprised that the bottom pattern is already starting to go away a little bit. So I'm a little bit surprised. I feel like with Vans, dude, that waffle sole, like that lasted forever. My Vans took forever to like chip away, but the Converse one, I'm like, oh man, you guys are going away already? Like I'm looking at the pattern, I'm like, man, you guys are slowly getting shaved away bit by bit already. But the Vans, I remember like looking at the waffle prints and I'm like, you guys are still here? Okay, sure. Yeah, they do seem to last like a long time. Dude, my Vans they took forever to get beaten up. But they had to say bye-bye eventually. They were getting kind of, I mean, they're beaten up. That's kind of the vibe you want for Vans, I feel like. So oh yeah, just in case we don't have an empty screen, because I keep getting called out for that sometimes. It's like, Josh, don't have an empty screen. In case you missed it, before we start stream, if you guys didn't know, I do workshops for XP Pen every other week. And this is the piece that I did. And yeah, I gotta have the shoes. I feel like, Kevin, now that we keep bringing up I'm the shoe guy, I'm like, every time I get a chance to draw shoes, we gotta draw shoes, So I was like, oh, baseball? Gotta draw the cleats. But yeah, I actually really like this one. And I actually wanted to clean it up. So this is the original one that I did for stream, and then I realized I kind of drew it in a little bit too low res, so I actually am redoing it a little bit with like a little bit more like finessed, cleaner lines. As you can see, I haven't really gone through to it just yet, but I'm just like chipping away at it. The glove took forever. I know it's 9 o'clock. We'll start soon, but man, that glove took. I had to go grab my own like glove and just to see how the stitching is. If anybody's like a real softball fanatic, yes, I know the glove's not accurate, but why make an accurate glove? Let's just make it up a little bit, have a little bit of fun with the glove. Yeah, gotta show off my shoe game. I love how me showing off my shoe game isn't even like showing off real shoes, it's just showing off me drawing shoes, because I don't have any fascinating shoe collection at all. But yeah, hope you guys are doing good. It is 9 o'clock, so I guess we'll jump right into it, and you guys know how it goes by now. We start off with a little bit of an intro, and then we'll do the art challenge, and then we'll jump into maybe a little bit of a lesson, a short a little bit of a breakdown on how I'm going to be drawing this building of ours. And then, yeah, that's going to be the stream. So, yeah, guys, sit tight. We're going to have a nice, cool stream. That sounds like it's like a river or something. Cool stream, but like the live stream. Okay, either way, if you guys are joining us for the first time and you don't know who I am or you don't know who we are, my name is Josh. I'm one of the instructors here for Wing Canvas, and if you've never heard of Wing Canvas, our mission at Wing Canvas is to make art education easily accessible to everyone. Join us for free live streams every week, because we're not just a YouTube channel. We are also an online school of illustration, helping nerds turn their passion into income. And also, shout out to our amazing students and members for supporting our mission. We love seeing your incredible artwork and watching your skills improve in our classes and weekly critiques. If you're an art nerd, be sure to join our Discord, where you can find our notes and artworks from stream, as well as art challenges and other resources to help you improve as an artist. So yeah, if you guys want to continue checking us out, check out our Discord, where you can upload your pieces and kind of join an awesome community. If you want to learn more, check out our website and all that good stuff. So yeah, that's a little bit of intro on who we are. As well, if you guys did not know, every month we do a monthly challenge. And if you're not too sure where to submit your monthly challenges, you can go on to Discord and you can go to the Art Challenge server, I think, or no, not server, channel. And then you will see the Art Challenge of the month. And for this month, for the month of April, it is architecture, since, you know, it starts with the letter A, architecture, April. You guys get the gist. So for this month, we're going to be shouting out, or not this month, today, this stream, we're going to be shouting out 3 artists from our community who submitted in the Art Challenge. And this one is Castle. Oh, I did see, yeah, Castle should be in the chat, right? I think, because I saw Kevin say hello to you beforehand. I don't know if you're still here, but yeah, Castle, awesome piece here. Really cool, impressionistic, almost kind of style of a drawing here. I really love the painterly approach to it, and even though it's a little, even though it's a little bit kind of more painterly and a bit more impressionistic, I feel like you've done a really great job with the colors and the lighting in it. So honestly, even though it's some of the details got a little bit lost, I would say, I can still kind of make out what is happening for the most part, and the colors, the turquoise for whatever is in here in the building, and the sky, and the white high contrast in the statues with the shadows of the building. Yeah, it's really awesome. I really like this. This is really cool. Reminds me of almost a bit of like The Witcher or Castlevania kind of a thing going on. So yeah, it's really cool. I like it. Okay, and then the next one is by Dante Divine. And I just, you know, I love this kind of art style. I don't know. This gives me a little bit of like childhood flashbacks in a way, where I feel like I would see this on like cereal boxes or maybe some kind of like childhood book illustration or something. So yeah, I really love this. Very playful. I love the kind of back and forth winding with the streets. And it's not like you can't tell how they're all really connected, but I kind of like that. I like that it's this almost jaggedy mosaic style of a layout for the path. So that's really, really cool. And then lastly, we have one by Calamity, and this one, pretty cool layout of a town, I guess. It's kind of like a town layout. I love how the path of it is kind of cut out in a way in this interesting, intricate maze, and then the layout of the town off over here. Pretty cool stuff. And, you know, always love shouting out some good traditional pieces. So yeah. So again, like I said, if you guys want to be part of or participate in the monthly art challenge, just simply join our Discord, our community Discord, and you can head over to the art challenge channel, where you can submit your drawings, and who knows, maybe one of your pieces will get picked for our live stream. So yeah, because we don't always pick every single one of them, but you know, if there's not too many, then I guess most of your pieces will get shout out, but you never know. So yeah, thank you guys for submitting your pieces. Love seeing what the community is doing and how everything is turning out. So yeah. Okay, am I going to draw the shoe factory? I'm pretty sure the one that won was the let me check. I'm pretty sure I took a look at it at like 4 p.m. or like 4:30 or something. And I'm pretty sure I remember it's the light one, right? Yeah, light one. So if you guys did not know, we posted a poll for what kind of theming we'll be doing for the building. It was here. I guess we'll do this. Yeah. So it was either like fishery, hardware, light, or denim. And I see that like there's these two people who are like, oh, I wanted denim would have been cool. I kind of put that in there as like a last little thing. I've been getting into denim lately, and I was like, it would be kind of cool if we did like a denim style building, but unfortunately light won. And I also realized partway through that when I put fishery, I know Jesse just did a fishery type of a building, so I was kind of hoping that it wouldn't get picked. But yeah, we're gonna be doing a light style of a building, so it's gonna be cool. Yeah. But yeah, hope you guys are ready. Now for this one, I'm gonna, like I always say, I'm gonna try to keep it simple. But if you guys are familiar here, you'll realize that I never keep things simple. So we'll see how well this goes. And you know what? Since we're doing a portrait style of a drawing today, I'm gonna put the overview here on the side just in case me zooming in and out of the drawing gets a little bit hectic and you guys want to be able to see the drawing in a very clean looking kind of ways. So yeah, we'll see how this goes. What about combining fishery and light? That could be cool. I feel like, Jess, did you want the fishery? It sounds like you wanted the fishery one as well. Who needs simple? We've got Josh. Josh is so considerate of us. Yeah, well, I will try. Okay, so starting a building. Now, I guess I'm gonna kind of try to approach this more in a concept art style, concept art approach, where it's gonna be a bit more just kind of clean, straightforward, not too illustrative in a way, kind of a deal. And I'll kind of go over what I mean by it. My kind of initial kind of approach or thought is that I kind of want to do it more in a, it's not exactly isometric because I still actually want to keep it in perspective, but this is kind of what I'm thinking of doing for the building, kind of just having a base for the building, kind of like this, like a platform, and then the building itself. So we have the platform, and then we have the building itself. This is kind of the approach that I'm thinking about doing this in, just so that it's kind of clean, straightforward, you can see the whole thing, and we're not really going to work on too much of like lighting or anything. We're just going to focus on constructing the building itself. So yeah, I'm a fish person. I do have 6 tanks of fish. You know what? Maybe I'll try to include some kind of fish around it. We'll see. Yeah, so the other reason why I think is like a really good way of approaching this is because whenever we're coming up with kind of a concept and coming up with a layout of a building, and we're not really trying to set it up as an illustration but more of a concept art approach, you don't really have to make it too beautiful. So for example, the one that Jesse did on Saturday's stream, it had like a composition to it, right? Because you guys had like the different fish buildings and they were all attached, and there was like a ground plane, and then there was a sky. This is a more illustrative approach, but what we're going to be doing is a bit more of like a layout approach, so that it's kind of easy for the modelers to approach when thinking of a building or copying the building and trying to sculpt it. So that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be trying to do more of like a simple, clean layout of this building. So it's not going to be anything fancy, but we're going to see all the details. Hopefully that's kind of like the plan for it. So this is going to be our approach here. Hopefully this makes some sense to you guys. We're going to be doing it a more concept approach rather than illustrative. And then the other reason why I think this will be a really good way to do it is because when you're coming up with a building, a lot of people get caught up with the perspective aspect of it, of like, oh, how do I know where the vanishing point is? How do I know where the horizon line is? But for me, when I'm approaching buildings, sometimes what I'll tell students is come up with kind of like your canvas shape. Like, let's say these are the different proportions that I have for my canvas. And I'm not too sure how I want to shoot the building. What I tell them to do sometimes is to just put a box in the middle of their page and see if that's the perspective that they want. You know, it's like, oh, does this look correct? Does this feel like the plane that you want for your shot, for your layout? If it's not, maybe try moving the box around. Maybe you want something more like this for the layout of your scene. So instead of getting too caught up on the horizon line and the vanishing point, I kind of recommend students just play around with positioning of like boxes and see what they can kind of get away with when it comes to laying out some physical objects and items in front of like their screen or in front of like the layout. So something like this. And then if it's getting close to how they want it, then kind of go with that. Use the block as kind of a guiding point. It kind of helps ground your drawing. It helps kind of ground your perspective, and you don't really have to worry too much about the horizon line and the vanishing points, but instead you get to work on the creative part of it and the design part of it. And all you're doing is just making sure that this is the angle that you want to start your drawing in. So this is kind of the approach that I kind of recommend if you worry more about the concept rather than the technicalities of perspective, because then you can kind of just rotate the boxes to see if that's the composition that you want. So yeah. Now that that's out of the way, I guess we'll just go ahead and start drawing it. And like I said, I'm going to kind of go for this layout of the scene because I do want to see a little bit of the top. Or maybe I should do some roughs first. Let's do some roughs. Since you brought up fisheries, I was actually thinking of drawing like, I don't know, this lady with I don't know, maybe some kind of hood. And then, you know, gotta be holding like a lantern kind of a thing. Or something. How would someone be holding a lantern? I don't know. Now I gotta draw hands. No. Now I gotta draw hands. Now that you brought up fish, though, now that some people were like, oh, how about you draw some fish? I'm now thinking like, oh, what if I, you know, have like fishes attached or be part of like some like sign. We got some koi fish swimming around the lady. I don't know. We'll see how this goes. And yeah, because I kind of wanted this very like ethereal style of a building almost, where it's like, oh, it's light, but you know, why get a normal light kind of factory? Instead, why don't we get like a cool kind of a building that's structured? That structure is made out of the lantern or the building itself, like the character is part of that structure, and everything. I don't know if this is gonna work or anything, but you know, we'll kind of play around with it, play around with the idea, see what kind of comes to mind. This is why we're doing it in this approach of a style instead of like your usual more illustrative approach that you guys are kind of familiar with. But yeah, as usual, you know, if you guys have any questions or if you guys are kind of curious or have any kind of recommendations, feel free to let me know. The fish could be the light bulb. Oh yeah, but you know what? Like an anglerfish could be kind of cool. Oh yeah, and if you know, if you guys end up drawing anything during stream, we'd love to see it as well. I feel like this could be kind of neat. Be like a neat structure, get an old style building to it. Yeah, we're going all full out create, you know, over the top with it. Or this is like, well, this could be one idea. I don't know. Trying to brainstorm some stuff here. So this is number one. Number two. We can go for like a crazy, I don't know why, like a cowboy kind of dude. Maybe this way I don't have to draw the face too much. Just draw the hand here. You know, this is like one of those like crazy, I don't know if anyone's ever been to Las Vegas or anything, but if you ever go to Las Vegas and how everything just feels larger than life, and you get those like massive buildings, and they're like super overly designed and done for no reason. This is kind of what it feels like. I'm just kind of going for like a very over the top kind of design for a building and seeing where this goes, seeing if this gets us anywhere. Get an old, I don't know, chimney or something. I'm definitely on time. Hello, Quinn. Glad you're able to join us. You should add puddles. You know, Quinn, if there's time, I'll add puddles. I'll add puddles for you. Here, we gotta have the porch. You know, gotta have the porch layout. Actually, I don't know if this is how porches are, but you know, you gotta have the staircase. Porches definitely do not look like this. But I'm gonna just like, oh, well, what if there's like a little stairwell here? You know, this is a lantern shop. This feels like something out of like BioShock, which is just so over the top and just ridiculous. But like you have this like why would anyone build a building like this? Like what's the point of having a giant character like this? But it feels very video gamey, and I kind of like it because it's like, oh, you know, if you're designing like this crazy over the top world, and it's like, oh, we need a lantern shop. How about we have a cowboy just holding a lantern, and then maybe on the other hand, you know, maybe I'll go for this cowboy one. This one's kind of cool. Why am I also having him hold like a gun or something? That I'm just making myself do so much work, and it's just a lantern shop. So I don't know what's going on with this one. I don't know why I want to do it like this. Why I'm making it so complicated for myself, but I feel like it'd be kind of cool. It could be like a window maybe down here or something. Give it like a, imagine this is like Red Dead Redemption, but it's just like super over the top and unnecessary. Oh, well, you know, if it's like a ranch, it's got to have like the little horse posting here where you could tie the horses, you know. Yeah. I don't know, something like this. This looks pretty cool. I kind of like this. This feels like it could be pretty neat. It's like right on the edge of the paper. I'm like running out of space. The more I draw, the more I'm just expanding it. It's like, oh, what if I put this? Oh, what if I put that? Easy to get lost in. Yeah, it can be. Yeah, and I also didn't know that there were like two parts to Las Vegas. There's like the old Vegas and then New Vegas, New Boulevard or whatever they call it. Yeah. Virgin, yeah, I was looking at that. And I'm like, oh, it looks a little bit like Virgin Mary a little bit. Versus Chad Joseph. First one is Mary, and then the other one is Joseph. If Joseph was in cowboy time, yeah, they are buildings. Exactly, they are buildings. They are definitely buildings. You should add a cow pin on his hat. Yeah, maybe. Part of Vegas. I mean, yeah, like, what is it? I only ever went to the part where all the new stuff is at, so, like the MGM area with like the New York resort and everything. Like, new, new, New Vegas. I keep saying New Vegas, but I know it's not called New Vegas because that's what, that's what, the video game is called. The Fallout New Vegas, and I'm like, that's not what that's not what it is. Here, we'll change it. We'll give her a kind of like a tie, and then it's just wearing a robe. It's a robe that's on top. Okay, so in the interest of time, I've got two options here. One is a little bit more developed than the other one. Maybe I'll try to make this one a little bit more organic feeling. So I'll have this one maybe be a bit rounder. Ooh, a rounded building. That's actually kind of cool. Oh, it could be shaped like a lantern. Ooh, I like that. Okay, so you guys can kind of vote. I'm still gonna draw this regardless of what the votes are, but let me know in the votes what type of building you would kind of like to see. Obviously, these are two very different types of buildings and different styles and different shape languages, but you guys can put in the vote. I don't know, Kevin, do you want to help me set up a vote? I don't know if you're still around, or maybe I can do it. I don't know. I'm always like forgetting how to do these. Start a poll. Oh yeah, you can do it. Okay, great, thanks. Yeah, you guys can do a poll, and then while a poll is being set up, I'm gonna just kind of finish this one to give just a general idea as to the two different directions. One's a little bit more, I guess you could say, more of a spiritual vibe, I guess, kind of like a temple light fixture area. And I'm thinking of like, oh, the platform could be kind of almost like a ripples in the water. That'd be kind of cool. And then we got some stepping stones in order for you to like access the building and everything. So we got one that's a little bit more rounded in shape. And yo, Kevin, you just put one, or is that just means like people only voted for one? Oh, two. Okay, everybody's voting for one. Oh, okay. I'm surprised. I thought you guys would vote for number two. It seemed like people were pretty more excited for number two. I'm okay with either one, actually. I don't really mind which one you guys would like, but yeah. So the second one is a little bit more geometrical. It's going to be a little bit more grittier, I guess you could kind of say, and obviously a bit more boxier in shape, and it's cowboy themed. And then the first one is a bit more rounder, and it's a bit more of like a fantasy. I guess you could say it's fantasy. It has a little bit of like a magic fantasy vibe to it. So we'll see. Let's see how I'm gonna let the poll go on for a little bit and see what you guys think, because I can see that it's fluctuating every now and then. It still seems like number one is the winner. The building. Oh, the building has a stand. Yeah. I feel like it would make a lot more sense if these were like stands or something, but you know, I'm kind of like, imagine these were like just super over the top buildings, kind of that you would see in like some kind of BioShock game or Fallout. Like, it's so ridiculous that someone would ever actually build it, and it's not just a sign, but it's like a full-on actual building, kind of like in a theme park. If you ever go to like Disney World or Universal, where it's just, it's like, it's so over the top. It's like, yeah, it's like crazy for building this, but yeah. Okay, I'll give it like 10 more seconds. It does seem like number one is the winner, so I guess we'll just go with number one then. Okay. Cool. Okay, I'm ending the poll. Seems like number one is the winner, so we'll take number one and kind of roll with it. So even though this was like a really rough sketch, I think the sketch itself kind of works already, so I'm gonna duplicate it. And I'm gonna base the drawing off of this. So that'd be kind of cool. Okay. And I think before I start, I'm gonna kind of just roughly get some perspective going. Now, like I said beforehand, because this is more just kind of looser, I'm not gonna try to make the perspective too accurate, as long as it feels for the most part believable. Let's just put it that way. As long as it feels relatively believable, we'll go along with it. So I'm kind of constructing a prism box around it. So this way it kind of gives me a rough guide as to the space that this building is contained in, and also just the rough perspective of it. And so anytime I add any kind of guidelines, or as I'm kind of adding any more like expansions to the structure, it's all based on this. It's going to be based on this prism. You can kind of think of this prism as my grid, actually. That might be kind of like the easiest way to kind of understand what the purpose of this box is for, is that it provides me an understanding of how much these angles, how far they're kind of going in, and how they slowly just start tapering off, and how it still should feel like a building. So something like this I think works. And I'm also going to draw a prism for the pond. Okay. Yeah, it should be like somewhere here, I think. Something like that. So we can still see the top of it, top of the prism. There, that looks relatively believable, I think. Maybe this should be a little bit flatter. And this one a little bit over here. Yeah, I feel like that looks... actually, maybe it should flatten out a little bit more then. It's not going to be perfect because I am kind of just going at it, but doing the best to just capture it. Okay, there. That looks better. Like it makes a bit more sense, I think. And yeah, there we go. This helps give me pretty decent construction of the building. You can kind of take this as kind of like scaffolding. It's a little bit like scaffolding, kind of gives me a rough container in a way to place the all the details and everything. So yeah, I think it looks not too bad for a rough kind of breakdown. And then now I'm just gonna quickly just draw a square platform. So that's why I said it's like kind of based on isometric, but it's not exactly isometric, because clearly isometric would not really be like this. So isometric is consistent and parallel pretty much all the way through. Whereas this one, I am relying on actual perspective for the most part to make sure it feels grounded and everything. So, yeah. So when it comes to like buildings and perspective, it's super important to make sure that you have a good kind of foundation and base to work off of, or else everything's gonna kind of feel like it's gonna come apart and not really make much sense. Oh, you know what? I should have drawn them separately. We'll put it there. I kind of wanted it to be a bit more centered, but then I realized like I can't. It's gonna be a pain in the butt to move it, so that's why. Just shifting it like this. Okay, there we go. That looks pretty good. Nice and centered for the most part. And then we're gonna draw an ellipse. Guess we're gonna have to shrink some of it down a little bit. Now, because the square is not gonna be perfect, I'm just gonna make this ellipse just a rough estimate as to where it should be. Something like this, I think. Feels about right. Oh, and a little tip about ellipses, however they're supposed to be pronounced. This is a little bit of a tip that I always give students during my like classes whenever we get into perspective, is that ellipses should not be pointy on the sides. So here, they should not be pointy because whenever we first start drawing ellipses, we always draw them like this, and they're pointed. So do not make them pointy. They need to be rounded. And if you don't believe me and you're like, no, I always draw ellipses pointed and it looks great, go grab an object that is rounded and start turning it. And you'll notice that it doesn't really get pointy until you are like almost near flat. Like the object is about to flatten out. That is when an ellipsis is the corners or the ends of the ellipses get pointed. That's like the only time. Other than that, your ellipses should be rounded. Okay, I think that's good. Oh yeah, someone did ask, do you think it's ever too late to become an animator even with poor art skills? I don't think it's ever too late to become an animator. I think what I will say is that being a good draftsman is gonna make your life so much easier if you plan on animating. So you can always start animating. I don't think there's any problem with going for it and trying to learn the principles and trying to give it a shot and try stuff out. But if you want to start animating like characters or more complicated objects, having a good draftsman skill is going to help a lot. So I do highly recommend that if you do want to get into animation, to try to touch up your drawing skills. Make sure you have good construction. Make sure when you draw forms, it's consistent. Make sure that you have clean line work. It doesn't mean that you have to have perfect line work, but the more consistent you are and the more precise you are, the easier it will be on you down the road. So that's what I have to say about it, is that it's really more just making it more less burdensome down the road as you start animating and as you start cleaning things up. Okay, I feel like I could spend forever on an ellipse and it would never turn out properly. Okay, I am going to cut this out. But I'm also gonna cut it's too It's too annoying. Shift it like right over there. There we go. That way it feels a little bit more centered. Yeah, I didn't think this too well. Think this through too well to get it all lined up and everything. But now we can actually start drawing the building itself. Oh no, I missed a poll when I was what was it for? Well, the poll was I actually had two concepts. I had a fishing lady kind of and a cowboy one, and the community voted for number one. So I'm gonna be doing the kind of lantern fish lady as a lantern based building. And a shorter, wider design. Be able to show the sketches again. Oh, there we go. Yeah. Yeah, if you guys want me to bring it back up, I'll probably, usually what I do is like, I bring up the sketches at the very end so that anybody who missed it, you're not missing too much, and it'll be easy for you to kind of catch up. Gonna make this really light so I don't get too distracted. And yeah, I'm gonna start drawing the character now, because the concept itself was still a little rough when I drew it. I'm not gonna try to follow it to a T too much. Just simply going to reconstruct it, I guess you could say. So I got the rough, and even though you're like, oh well, Josh, aren't you like redrawing on top of the rough? And I'm like, yes, but I'm going to now kind of add a bit more structure and definition to it, because beforehand, when I first drew the rough, it gave a good idea and it gave a kind of a good understanding of where things were roughly, but it was a little bit, whoops. It's like, I know myself, and I've been drawing enough where I know that it's not going to be the most well constructed. So what I'm going to try to do now is actually spend some time constructing things and making sure that everything is placed where I'm going to want them to be placed. And yeah, that's going to be the goal. Buildings are a lot of fun, but I realized that buildings kind of actually, like, they require a bit more effort in a way than like the usual, like whenever I draw people. So if I get a little quiet, just know that it's because I am trying to like focus, and I'm just getting caught up on the draftsman part of it, getting the whole layout out. How should we lay this out? I feel like that'd be kind of cool. I was also not too sure what kind of shape language to go for. Maybe because we're going for like a fish kind of approach, maybe we'll go for wider, like rounder, softer lines. So if you guys know me, you guys know that I have a more graphic approach in terms of like the shape languages. I like using very harsh geometric shapes, but for this one, I might actually kind of change it up a little bit, and we'll go more rounded. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, and then we'll have big head hairpiece here. Kind of feels more like it's a pompadour for her. And everything. Oh, I need my mirror. I forgot to put my mirror in front. You want to make me want to draw fish swimming? Hey. Got my mirror. Need my mirror to kind of just get a rough feel on where things might be aligned. Oh, by the way, did anybody watch the movie Mickey 17? I don't know if that's a movie anybody was like interested in, but did anybody watch it? Or does anybody even know what it is? They might be like, what's Mickey 17? I've never heard of that before. Hello. Hello, Ninja. Tusk. Is it everybody be like, what? Ninja? Like, no, just Ninja Tusk. I haven't heard of it. Really? Oh, it's by the guy who did Parasite. I forgot his name. It's like Kim Jong. I don't know. You know, I'm not gonna bother trying because I actually don't know what his name is, so I might get it wrong. What am I doing with the hands? I also am not too sure what I'm doing with the hands. I'm kind of figuring this out as we go. Maybe something like that. Be kind of cool. And then we got the outfit here. It could be like water themed, like the outfit could have a bit of like a flow to it. I don't know. Oh, I just realized. What would the hands be? If the hands be like here, maybe like a lava, like some kind of pattern on it. Not too sure. Maybe like rounded, and keep our theme of like a rounded lantern. Oh, and this is where the grid will come in handy because I can kind of see what the perspective should technically be as it kind of comes down and everything. So when I see how the lantern should be, or where the lantern is, gives me a rough idea as to where things should be. Now I can see that the grid is going this way, so it kind of tells me that the building should maybe be like here, or like the roof. And I'm gonna draw maybe just like a slightly more square shaped building here. Bong Joon-ho. Yeah, there, that one. Went a little Photoshop crazy. Did they? Is it the one where there's like a bunch of Robert Pattinsons? Is it that one? I have not really. I didn't really pay attention to it. What is it about it that is very Photoshop heavy, Kevin? It's just like a bunch of Robert Pattinsons. It feels a little bit too copy and paste, maybe. I feel like that's kind of okay though. If you know the concept for the movie, I guess it kind of works out in its favor, in my opinion. So I feel like it's not too big of a deal, but I don't know. Maybe the Photoshop job wasn't as well done as it could have been. Maybe. Oh, it can be kind of like a little mushroom based building. The movie does look interesting though. I feel like the concept for it and the world building, like potential, could be really cool. Oh, maybe we won't do the mushroom cap, but we'll just have it kind of come down over here. I feel like the hands should maybe be a little bit more over, so it feels a little bit more centered, I think. Yeah, okay. That makes a bit more sense, because then the building is probably gonna be coming... The hand should be coming out, and the lantern should be sitting out in front of the building. So somewhere like here. So it feels more in line with the building. There we go. Get a nice bowl shape for over here. Yeah. Reminds me of Somoff with the multiple lives things. Oh, yeah. Actually, I've never played Soma before. I've heard a lot about the game. Is it good though? I want to check it out, but I'm a bit of a scaredy cat when it comes to scary movies. So I don't know if you're talking about the video game or maybe you're talking about the movie. I don't know, but for the video, I know there's a video game called Soma because my sister was like, "Oh, you should check it out. I think you'll kind of like it." And then I never checked it out because I'm too scared to check it out. I know I'm breaking a bunch of perspective rules, but you know, for the sake of just kind of time and everything, we are going to break those rules just so that it's a little bit easier to kind of just pull off. You guys might not be able to tell though, so you know, just if you do notice it, just you know, keep it a secret. Don't really point it out or anything. Just be like, ah, yeah. Of course, that's how it should be drawn. Gotta add the staircase, or not the staircase, but the little rock steps over here, well, somewhere like that. Hey, it's, you know, it's not too bad. It's getting there, in a way. Maybe it should be round. Maybe this part, I'm realizing, looks a little weird. That it's kind of just curving up, so actually we'll just kind of lower it back down over here. And then this is the hard part, I guess, kind of merging merging it a little bit. The rule breaker, I know, like, it's not too scary, but you do feel dread. Ah, okay, like, you know what's going to happen. I see. Yeah, I don't... I've heard that it's not bad. And it's pretty good. I just like I'm too scared too scared to watch it. I don't wanna play it. I'm too much of a chicken to go play it. All right, and the fish. Totally forgot about the fish. There's so many ways that I could have probably approached this that would have made it a little bit easier, but oh well. Oh, you know what? I guess could help is actually like maybe like a sign. Here, what do you guys want to call this? Call this sign. Call this shop. Anybody got any name suggestions? Does chat want to throw at some names for this light shop here? So like wondering where I should put like the windows. Maybe just like normal rounded windows. We'll see. Well, you know, it's a work in progress. Twilight. Ooh, I like that. You know, I'm gonna write these names down because these are pretty good. Twilight Fisheries. That's a pretty good one. Wait, it's not a well. You know, it kind of works. Twilight, because it's yeah. Okay, that's one. We can have Lucille's. I like that name too. Lucille's Lanterns. I like the alliteration going on here. Strickland Magic. Oh my goodness. Okay, that's too long. Madame's Teak. Okay. Okay, Lady of the Lights Hut. Okay, that one's not too bad. That was a little long too. Ladies of the Lights Hut. Madame's... I don't know why I keep reading it like that too. The Bountiful Bog. Okay, Bountiful Bog. Yeah, actually, I kind of like that too. Bountiful Bog. Okay, do remember, guys, this is supposed to be a light kind of shop. So the names, do just keep in mind that they should feel like it is light based and everything. But I like the bog kind of concept that you guys have here. Kind of adding these random, almost like fungal lights here for like windows and everything. I don't know if that feels kind of weird. That feels kind of otherworldly. But yeah, I'm kind of making it feel almost like a bog, kind of like, you know, lady of the water kind of vibe, you know. I feel like we should make her look very otherworldly too then, you know. Give her the I don't know if we should maybe not make her look too goofy. Since it's like a sculpture, maybe we can avoid the eyes. Just go for like eye shapes. I feel like that would be kind of neat. Something like this. Kind of neat. It's kind of cool. Okay, and then we gotta have like the fish. So, you know what? Poncho Lighthouse. Oh, I know you're going Poncho Light. Oh, I like that too. Okay, Poncho Lighthouse. That's a good one. Oh my goodness, that's a huge like Mjolin Guardian of the Night Trial. Oh, that that's too much. Oh, I like this one. Fireflies Rest. Ooh, I like the rest part. Makes it kind of cozy. The bright side. Okay, the bright side. That's kind of interesting. Sorry if I don't take all your ideas. Some of them I'm just kind of picking one that kind of matches the vibe of whatever it is that we're drawing here. I totally almost forgot the fish part. So we'll have the fishes coming swimming around here. We were not gonna draw all the fish, but yeah, we're gonna go for, you know, the classical koi fish. Can't go wrong with koi fish, you know. Just capturing more of like the shapes of them. And everything. Going for this is starting to feel very like Magic the Gathering almost. Kind of like got a feeling. It's kind of neat. Um I have not played Magic the Gathering though, so I don't know if that's an accurate statement or not, but I feels very like so fantastical to a point where I'm just like this none of this really makes any sense anymore, but you know where I like it. We're going with it. Like this no longer feels like a lantern shop, but I'm kind of here for it, so it's all good. This is looking cool. Oh, thank you. Oh, you gotta go. Okay, good night. The blue. I do not play Fortnite, so I have no idea if there's a character that kind of looks like this. If there is, I guess that's a very huge coincidence. But yeah, I do not play Fortnite, so I don't know. I cannot say if there is. Or I know you mean the name, so I guess it's more like the name. Okay. Gonna draw this. We got about an hour left, and we'll try to draw this as best as I can. So we're gonna get started. We'll go with black. I've been kind of going more with these kind of darker line drawings lately. So if you guys know me, I usually don't go with like a darker color. I usually am more on the lighter side of things. Or like when I draw more with like colors. Might keep this more of like a line-based drawing. I know that I guess that feels a little ironic though, since this is supposed to be a light style, a light building, like a lantern house in a way, and it's like, oh, you're not gonna add like colors or lighting to a light room. And it's like, I guess I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. feel like that maybe might make her look a bit too old. Kind of giving her these massive eyes because I'm like, oh, kind of like the fish, you know, fish got large eyes. Give her some large eyes. Yeah, that was not too bad. Looking pretty good. Might kind of lower the forehead just a little bit, though. Yeah, I want these very swoopy lines here for the head, for the hair, and everything. I want everything to feel very organic. Should be marble or jade. The massive, they look normal. I guess they do look normal for like a more anime style kind of approach. This is pretty large for me. In like for my style, this is pretty large for what I usually do, I would say. So that's why it feels large. But I guess they can feel a little bit normal sized if you're used to more anime style. Hey, and then the ear. I'm gonna bring the ear just a little closer. Maybe like here. I should have maybe raised my resolution. I might do that. This is getting a little hard to draw. Let's see. Image, no, not image split. Image size. Here. We'll just scale it up just a bit. 300. So we have a little bit more pixels. Just a little bit more pixels to work with. Just a little bit more. Yeah. Going with the anime. That's true. I guess if you're used to like anime especially like One Piece, you're gonna look at it as like large. That's just normal. So yeah, definitely can understand. It might look a little bit normal in a way. But yeah, I hope you guys are doing good. I know I'm a little bit more quiet, I guess, for today, just because this one is gonna require a lot more focus on my end, just because of the nature of the piece, like a more architecture based drawing. You can already tell probably. It's like, oh yeah, he needs to focus. Talking and drawing at the same time. It's gonna be kind of hard. Gonna be kind of tricky. Ooh, you know, I was thinking of like maybe there could be like a hair tie, like right here, and then the hair comes down, almost in like this bubble kind of a way. Finished your sketch for the building. Nice, nice. Like to see that. I mean, I like to hear it. I mean, also see it. You know, I'm down to look at any of the drawings you guys make. I would always love to see the stuff that you guys are making. So, yeah, if you want to share it, feel free to post it. And if you guys are part of school, by the way, and you guys, that's also a very easy way to get me to look at your drawings, is that if you're a part of school, feel free to put these into, like, the character design kind of critiques, or just like the free style critiques that Kevin has made in terms of like the post. This is like a very easy way for us, the instructors, to also find pieces that you guys want critiqued. Because yeah, we get an email when you guys post, when you guys post stuff on school. So we have notifications. And we will try to answer them as best as we can. So if you guys didn't know, we kind of started using this program, or not program, this I don't know how would you describe school? It's like a service, I guess. It's like a website service where we post a lot of our classes and recordings there for a kind of like for subscription fee, almost, in a way. And you get access to a bunch of recordings and classes, and you also get to submit your pieces and also ask for feedback. So yeah, if you guys have always been if you have ever been curious about like our other recordings and our classes, school is kind of a good way to check it out, check out our classes and everything. So yeah, I highly encourage you guys check out class or school if you are interested in our classes, but I'm not too sure, or you just don't have the time to attend the live ones. You can check out school. But yeah, we always try to answer any kind of questions as best as we can while we're there. I'm almost giving this like a blob shape to give it almost this impression that it's like her hair is made out of liquid or some kind of gel. So hopefully that comes across as some like ethereal material. I think they mean that. Wait, what? Oh man, I need to catch up on chatter a little bit. Will the fish shine like lights too? That was technically the goal. I don't know if I'll have time to light it. Probably won't have time. That's why I'm kind of putting a little bit more effort and thought into the line work. So I see that, what is it? Someone Fruity asked, how am I considering the line work? I am thinking about it as I'm drawing, so it's not kind of just randomly placed. I am in some ways considering it and thinking about it when I'm drawing it. I'm kind of thinking about things like just placement of where I want these shapes to be, where I want kind of just like the flow of things. Also considering just like lighting a little bit as well. So it's like, oh, if light were to hit these objects here, like what would it look like, and all that kind of stuff. I know that's a little bit of a vague answer, but it's honestly like kind of hard answering it while I'm drawing. But yeah, I am considering it. I am kind of playing around with the line work. I'm playing a lot with contrast as well, so that's kind of one of the reasons why I used a slightly darker color than I usually am. So if you've ever seen my streams, you'll know that I don't typically go right into like the darks and the shadows, but I will say I feel like recently I've been kind of experimenting a little bit more with kind of darks and shadows and kind of just like going for it. I don't really do it too often on these streams, so yeah. But yeah, I'm kind of thinking about like the flow. I'm thinking about the kind of just momentum of these line work. And I think it also helps a lot that I'm using a very textural brush. So shout out to texture brushes and kind of just like how it can make everything look a little bit more interesting, even though it's not too interesting. But yeah. Might I ask what brush I am using? Oh yeah. If anybody is using Krita, so I'm using Krita and I'm just using the default brush. So I basically took this brush. I don't know, it should be popping. Yeah, here. It's the charcoal pencil medium. But I customized a few things. So I've done this before where I just show you my brush settings because it's nothing fancy. I basically took the charcoal pencil medium. I know, lovely name. I did not name it. This is what Krita names it, so you should be able to find it. And then I adjusted some of the brush tip settings. So you can see here I played around with density, played around with spacing a little bit as well. And then I think I adjusted the curve a little bit for the opacity. And then I also adjusted the flow a little bit. I think I might have played around with the curve as well. And then the size as well. I played around with the size. And I think that's pretty much it. Everything else I left to default. So it's not really anything too crazy or special, I should say. And then everything else is just kind of control. So the reason why I love this brush is just that it has a lot of texture to it without being too, I guess, obnoxious with it. That might not be the right way to describe it, but sometimes textural brushes can feel very over the top and can kind of feel like it's very loud of a texture where people use it to be like, oh, look at me, I'm using texture. This one, it still has texture, but to me it doesn't feel like it's too overbearing. So I quite like it. Yeah. And I'm kind of drawing with like just thin lines, adding a little bit of like thickness to it just to add a bit of line variation, line weight variation. And I'm also putting it in places that kind of either match the flow of my line work, like the flow of the curve. So sometimes it's kind of natural to be thinner at the ends and then thicker around the curves. We just naturally press our pen in that way. So when I'm drawing the curves for her hair, I am considering things like, oh, where is like the apex of the curve? And it's like, oh, maybe I can make that part a little bit darker, a little bit more prominent. But at the same time, I'm also considering like, okay, but also where is the general light and direction of the light? And if I make that line too dark and too heavy, is that going to take away from the focus and the overall flow? So sometimes it's a mixture of the two. It's a mixture of lighting and also just natural momentum and flow with the pen work. Hopefully that answers it a little bit, but yeah, it's keeping the movement kind of lively, not thinking about the every line too much, because after a certain point, if you think too much about every single line, it can get a little bit overwhelming, and I don't think you have to necessarily think about every single mark that you make in order to make it feel believable or make it feel interesting. It's all like variations, playing around with the shapes, playing around with the shapes, line language, and composition. Yet I kind of came to a realization that you know how Iggy, if you guys have seen Iggy's and Jesse's streams, I would say that they're more painterly focused. Not that they don't do a lot of line work, but I would say that they're more, they color in things a little bit more, and they work on the rendering and the shading and putting colors in. I would say that for me, my rendering is in the line work. It's kind of paying attention to the weight of the lines that I put down. So that for me is my rendering. So you can kind of think about rendering in that way too, because I think a lot of people don't realize that there's a lot of work that goes into thinking about the line work. And I love line work, so to me that's kind of my version of rendering. Oh, thank you, Fruity. You're so kind. It has a weird. You love the chromatic pen in Krita. Oh, I've never checked out the chromatic pen. I'll maybe take a look at it later, but yeah, I really don't play around too much with brushes, so I kind of just find one that I really like and I just stick with it. But the chromatic brush sounds cool. I love brushes that kind of have a bit of a sporadic, chaotic nature to them. So I don't know. I might check it. I might check it out. Always use rough pen and pencil brushes. Yeah, honestly I do think that well, for me like the style is I like brushes that have texture to it. So I think if you're someone who prefers like a more traditional textured rougher line, then yeah, I would say definitely textured brushes are going to be super helpful for you when you draw. Whereas if you're someone who prefers more like that clean, cartoony, not cartoony, cartoony sometimes makes it sound like it's a bad thing. But if you prefer more of that graphic novel, comic book kind of feel where the lines are very clean and it's almost like a marker, then I would say like more digital style brushes are good. But if you like the more kind of traditional feel, definitely would recommend getting like a textured brush. Sorry about the zooming in and out constantly. That's kind of like my thing. If you guys have been on my streams lately, you'll probably realize like I zoom in and out a lot for my drawings. And just kind of cleaning things up before we get into the actual building itself, which is where all the time is probably gonna end up in. But yeah. So texture brushes, my beloved. Oh yeah. I think that's kind of the big reason why I also love going for texture brushes is because I also started off as a traditional artist as well. So when I got into like digital, I was like, oh, I don't know how I feel about the brushes being so clean. It doesn't feel right. It feels kind of odd. And it's like, oh wait, there's traditional brushes. Oh, sign me up with traditional brushes. So yeah, no, I totally get the sentiment of wanting more textured feeling brushes because they definitely do feel more, I don't know, more natural in a way, I guess. And also with this brush, I guess it's like really great because you can make it really large and you get these like really cool, it's almost like spray paint kind of a texture to it. So I kind of like it. So it kind of does like two things at once almost in a way. I really like that. So it's cool. It's cool. It has my approval, certification. And even though we're doing this kind of in the moment, that's why it's kind of like, uh, there might be a chance that when we get to the end of this, it might not flow as nicely as I would typically like my line work to be, because we're kind of guessworking this as we go, and so because of that, line work, like I said, it's kind of like painting on its own, in its own way as well. And how you kind of render the lines and thicken up the lines can affect the the feel and composition of the piece. So there's a chance that this one at the end might look a little funky though at the end because the line work might be a little bit imbalanced or might feel a little bit off. So Just a little heads up, if we get to the end of the piece and you're like, ah, Josh, it looks a little whack. It's like, yeah, there's a chance that it might be, so don't worry. It's gonna happen. Gonna put a black spot here to kind of just balance out the placement of the jacket. Seeing your picture, gotta turn off PC. Ooh, okay. Hope you stay safe. Glad you're able to join us though, but yeah, definitely stay safe amidst the storm. Hope you're doing well. Let's see. I have returned. Hello. Joshification. Is that a term now for me? Is like Joshification? I don't even know what for. It's like Joshification. Oh, speaking of shoes, anybody here have any New Balances? I'm kind of like thinking of maybe getting them as like my next shoe when my shoes break. And I'm kind of curious if anybody has any like thoughts about New Balances. Like outside of the hype and everything, like I'm kind of just like, okay, like is it actually a good shoe? And is it worth kind of like buying? Because I'm noticing that New Balances just do not go on sale. So I feel like it's one of those where you just go get it if you want it kind of thing. Like I know they go on sale after a certain time maybe, but they like rarely go on sale. Like I feel like I'd never see them go on sale. So I'm kind of like wondering if I should wait or if I should just go for it if there's like a pair that shows up that I kind of like. But yeah, if anybody has any New Balances, let me know what your thoughts are on them. Kind of curious. I love how Vin's back. Vin's like, "Oh, I hear talk about shoes that are not Converses. Let me join. Let me join." I see you, Vin. I see how it is. I have the NBs, good trail shoes. Okay. Dude, just wear dark hiking shoes. They're good for it. Okay, I am like slowly getting out of black shoes or like dark shoes, I should say. I feel like when I grew up as a kid, it was like, oh, only dark shoes. Only ever wear dark black shoes and everything because it's like, oh yeah, it's stealthy and whatnot. But I don't know. I feel like as I'm getting older, I'm just like I want a little pops of color, in my life. I don't want everything to be all dark. My clothing's already dark, so I have enough like black colored pieces of articles of clothing, I guess you could say, in my closet. But I'm kind of like with shoes, I'm down to put in a little bits more color, a little bit more splash of color, a little bit of accent, here and there. That's why I'm kind of like curious, just because, like, I kind of want to check it out. I keep hearing so many things about like New Balances, but I'm not sure if it's just hype or if it's like worth it. Since they're a little bit pricey, I would say. Also, yes, I have the excuse to make her hands a little bit gnarlier because she's a fictional character, so it is totally okay in my mind that her hands are gonna look a little stranger than usual. We're still gonna try to make them make sense, but if you're like, Josh, those fingers look kind of wacky, I'd be like, yeah, they're supposed to be a little strange. Since 2012, haven't worn any sneakers since. Super comfy. Oh, okay. I'm not one to ask because I will spend hundreds just because they're trendy. Yeah, I have a friend who was just like, I'm gonna buy the Sambas. I'm like, the Sambas don't look comfortable, and I just like, they're so expensive for something that feels very cheap. I don't understand why the Sambas popped off so much, but I guess I'm not one to speak since I don't mind wearing Converses. So Yo, the Uniqlo. Okay, has anyone ever worn like non-shoe company shoes, like Zara shoes or Uniqlo shoes, or even like Coach? I see has shoes. Like the emo black is the coolest shoes. I'm the bright blue Sambas. 10 out of 10. No, I don't trust you, Vin. You're a biased consumer for the Sambas. I do not trust your take on them. Dark green is cool too. I do like the greens. Right now, like what is it? My Converses, they're kind of like the canvas colored white. So I like that. It's like got a little pop of brightness considering like all my clothings are kind of dark and everything. So that's kind of why I like kind of lighter shoes now because like all my clothing are pretty much like dark. Like my jackets are dark, my hoodies are dark, everything is dark. So my shoes, I'm like I feel like my shoes should be a little brighter. Lately my outfits have been more than just black. Yeah. I feel like I'm wearing just like a little bit more color. Not too much, but like just enough where I could be like, yeah, look guys, it's not all just dark, you know. Although, nothing wrong with like if you want to go the whole like all black outfits, then yeah, go for it. But I feel like I'm turning a new leaf, so to speak, when it comes to clothing. Vin is the most biased consumer of them all. It's not character design if we're not designing a character. Are you talking about the drawing? It's like, yeah, it's not just gonna be a building. It's gonna have a little bit of character in it. Also, like logistically, I don't know if this kind of handle would be able to hold up this kind of lantern, but we'll see. You know what? Now, oh, well, no. Okay, she's very complex. So I kind of feel like I shouldn't make her um her lantern very complex because I was looking at the lantern, I was like, "Ooh, lantern could be like also very complex looking." But now I'm like, maybe not, maybe not. Who cares about logic? Yeah, exactly. It's like, it is what it is. Nice round. I am gonna add these kind of like curves and almost like kind of carving shapes maybe inside of it just to match the organic flow of her while also making like the lantern match the theme of the building. There we go. Kind of neat. It's kind of like a chestnut. I don't know. I feel like I want to design some extra thing to it. Oops. I don't know. We'll see. It's like a mushroom right now. There we go. Makes it a little bit more interesting. Then we can add those lines back in. It's kind of almost like a bug, in a way. It's like a bug shape. Or it's like a tooth. It's like a tooth-shaped lantern. It's kind of cool. Yeah, I hope you guys are having a good night. I know it's getting a little late and everything, but hopefully you guys are all doing good. Oh, and a little, I don't know, like this is a little, is it a PSA? I don't think this counts as a PSA, but if anybody's in Toronto, just a reminder that there's the OCAD show happening. So if you guys want to see some cool graduate pieces art, definitely go check out the OCAD show that would be happening soon. If you guys don't know what OCAD is, actually that's the school I graduated from. So yeah, that's school was not it was an experience. I feel like university, like school is always a little bit different for everybody, but yeah, school, I went to OCAD. It was kind of cool. You got to see lots of different types of artists and different styles of art. So I think in that way it was like very useful in expanding my kind of scope of what art can be. And if you kind of are curious, and if you're in the Toronto area, definitely go check out the gallery show that happens. I'm a night owl. Booking the flight now. Yeah, yeah. Do it, Vin. Show up just randomly in Toronto one night, one day. But yeah, there's a show. I think it's happening in May. I want to say end of April or like beginning of April all the way to the beginning of May to the end of May, I believe is the schedule for it. So if you're free, come out and check out the show, and who knows, you might run into me. Although I guess I wouldn't know what you look like either. So if you said hi to me and you know what I look like, I would not have any clue as to who you are. But you might be like, but I'll be there, and you know, who knows, you might be able to say hi to me, but just know I'll have no idea who you are. But yeah. Toronto's like easy mode. I wish I could just draw all day and watch anime. I wish I could do that too. Work on art and whatnot all night, watch shows all day. That sounds like the dream, you know. You know, I always thought I was a night owl, but then recently I think I'm finding out that I prefer drawing during the morning. The problem is I can't wake up. So that's kind of a little bit of an issue. Is that I like drawing during the day, but I can't get up and wake up to draw art. So it's a little bit of a there's a little bit of an issue right now. I'd have to hunt you down. Yeah. Wait, what do you mean Toronto is easy mode? Wait, like you drove across Canada? Or you drove across like a good chunk of North America? If you drove across Canada, you know, dang, I major respects there. Yeah, I end up drawing at night, and I'm just like, I don't want to draw at night. I want to draw during the day. There's something about drawing during the day that's it's very satisfying. I think it's like being able to just see the sun is very nice. Like during like the bright blue sky while you paint, while you draw, come up with ideas. It's a good time to be drawing. Unfortunately, I just can't wake up for it. Sad times. Basically straight across Montana. Oh, okay. So wait, you drove across North America, like, and then you like came into Canada? That's kind of cool. It's kind of neat. Okay. This is where I think we're slowly coming along. It's 10:37, so I should have enough time. Technically, I should have enough time, but that's why I say every time. I finish all my drawings every time. 60% of the time, I finish every time. But I feel like I'm feeling pretty good. I'm feeling pretty good about this one. Josh is making great time. Cheer him on. Oh, you know what? These could be like those glass window types of like windows. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Those like windows that look like glass. I don't know why I'm doing this to myself, because like those glasses look a certain way, and I feel like I would have to I would have to line it in a certain way so that it looks like those not lights, those windows, but I don't know. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I'm liking that. Do you think Josh will make it? Vote in the polls. I know Kevin makes these like secret polls about whether I'll finish things, or like how much I'll get done. So this can be one of those. Is Josh gonna be able to finish tonight? We'll see. He won't. I mean, I definitely have faith. Oh, that's cool. Oh, thank you, Roxy. Glad you're able to join us. I guess you literally just popped in to enjoy the stream, so that's kind of cool. Yeah, we're drawing this kind of honestly, I don't really even know myself how to describe this. It's kind of like a bog lady with flying koi fish around around her, and it's a lantern store. Why is it designed in this way? We don't really know. We kind of just went with it. I say we, but I guess I designed it, so I guess it's more like I just went with it. But yeah. Hopefully you're looking at this and you're like, yeah, that makes sense. This checks out as a design for a character who's and everything. But yeah. I have $10 riding on this guy, cheer. Whoa, don't put that kind of pressure on me. No, I'm just kidding. Oh man. Do you know what's a great kind of thing I love having in the background while drawing is actually sports. Like just having sports on, I don't know, there's something about it, the commentary, the radio talk show host kind of voice that they have when they're talking about sports. I love it. So, I recommend if you guys you're not watching our stream, you're waiting for the next one, and you don't have anything to listen to, and you're like, I don't want to listen to podcasts or music or anything. I recommend checking out some sports. Watch sports while you draw. It's a great way to kill time. Evie's hockey obsession. Wait, does Evie watch hockey? Okay, I actually try to get into hockey this year. I like, oh, Monday Night Football is gonna be on Prime. Oh, perfect. I get a chance to check out hockey. I've always wanted to check out hockey. I watched it like one time and I thought it was pretty cool, and then I just never bothered keeping up with it. I know I literally just was like, you guys should watch sports, and then I'm like, yeah, I didn't keep up with it at all. But trust me, it's great to have on the background. But whether or not I keep up with it, that's a different question, I guess. That's for another time. You're a faking it. Yeah, I know. I know. I feel so bad. I need to get into hockey. You know what's funny too is like with baseball, I was like, okay, me and my friend were like, we're just gonna watch it one time. Every summer, we're gonna dedicate just one day where we go watch the Blue Jays, and that's it. And we're like, yeah, I'm into baseball. Yeah, woo. But it's like I don't know anything about baseball, but I'll watch it for like for one time during the year. I'll do it just to see what's happening. Yeah, I'm gonna be in your area this summer. Oh, yo, give it a holler, Kevin, if you're around. I realize I'm going for kind of a Mike Mignola approach to the drawing of this. If you guys don't know who Mike Mignola is, which I'm honestly I was a little bit surprised when I found out my students didn't know who Mike Mignola is. He's the creator of Hellboy, and his art. If you have not seen his art, he is so good at using black and white kind of contrast for his paintings. It is absolutely amazing. I would highly recommend anybody to check out his stuff. He's one of the goats out there, and his stuff is just absolutely incredible. Highly recommend you guys check out his stuff. If you're kind of curious about line work and you're curious about like black and white kind of compositions and more kind of comic book, that kind of coloring system. If you're kind of curious about those heavy darks, definitely check out Mike Mignola. He's amazing at that kind of stuff. So I guess I realize I'm kind of channeling a little bit of Mike, getting a little bit of Mike in the way I'm rendering this. Was not kind of my plan, but realized it partway through while coloring. I was like, oh, this is kind of how Mike Mignola does things. My dad went to Florida, cooked for the Blue Jays, so I got a ton of merch out of that. Ooh, that's cool. Zamboni. Yeah, we do. In order to deal with the snow, we can only drive Zambonis. It is known in Canada where you cannot drive anything else. It must only be Zambonis. Yeah. For sure. Definitely. If you come over, Fruity, to Canada, don't worry. I'll hook you up with a Zamboni. I'll teach you how to ride a Zamboni. I'm kidding, by the way, but I would love to ride a Zamboni. Zamboni seems fun. Like they seem like a lot of fun to drive. I wish I knew how to drive a Zamboni. That'd be really cool. Right. Gotta have the little wood. Actually, I don't know. I was thinking wood sign, but why make it made out of wood when so far everything about this has been on the weird side, or quote-unquote weird side. Not really like that weird, but okay, this is where we're gonna commit to a name here, folks. How do we want to name this? What is this shop gonna be called? Are we going with Kevin's recommendation or suggestion of Poncho's Lighthouse? I do quite like that. It kind of works because like what she's wearing kind of looks like a poncho, but then it also kind of works because like the whole sea stuff and water vibe and everything. Like I feel like it could work. So honestly, I am leaning towards Poncho's Poncho's Lighthouse. But yeah. Just joined the stream. What is going on so far? How is everyone joining? Oh, well, hello, B. I am working on kind of a... So today is this month, we're all doing architecture-based drawings. So all the instructors are working on an architecture-type building, and I was tasked of designing a building that is also a character, and so I decided to make the building look like a character. So, and then the community voted that I design a light building, so a building that sells lights. And so that's why we got this kind of bog sea lady selling lanterns at her lantern shop, I think. And yeah, so that's kind of where we're at right now. We have about like 12 more minutes. I haven't even gone down to the lower part, so I'm kind of letting the audience kind of decide what to name it. I'm kind of leaning towards Poncho's Light Shop, so feel like it. Who he think he is, Bob the Builder? I am Bob the Builder. Yes, he can. Oh my goodness. I am Bob the Builder. I can do it. I believe in myself. But yeah, this is where we're at. And Rahul, thank you. Yeah, I'm glad you're enjoying the art piece here. It's I also was like not really too sure where this was gonna go, but so far it's been pretty good. So far it's looking not too bad, if I say so myself. I know that's kind of a weird thing to say about your own drawing, but it's I feel like it is also turning out pretty well. Not all stream pieces turn out spectacularly, but this one I will say is turning out pretty good, especially for me too, since I don't always finish my pieces either. So the fact that I'm able to get it this far down the line is, I would say, a pretty good accomplishment. We got near the end of the stream. Yeah, you are near the end of the stream. Yeah. Dang it, Kevin. We can't let Kevin be right, guys. We will... Oh, but we're so close. I'm like so close to finishing this. I feel like I could do it. Kevin's like, no, he's drawing too fast. This is not good. But yes, if nobody has any name recognition, or not recognition, my goodness, suggestions, we're gonna go with Kevin's, which is Poncho's Lighthouse, which honestly is a pretty good name. So we're gonna go with it. Let's see. How should I write this one? I feel like a cursive would be good. I feel like a cursive for the font, kind of like the typeface, would be pretty good. Probably that's what I'm gonna go for. And folks, this is why I do not color, because if I had to color this would be like another, like an hour, probably more than an hour actually. If I had to color this. That's why I leave the coloring to Jesse and Iggy, and I am the one who just does the line works. Oh, oh shoot. Did it crash? No. Oh no. Don't crash. Don't crash, Ivy. Don't crash. Oh, oh my goodness. Oh, I almost thought it was about to crash. Oh boy. Dun dun dun. Control. I know. I know. When it did not save Kevin, honestly, I was like, no, please. We're so close. We're so close. And yet so far. So close and yet so far. Okay. This is pretty good. Fruity, I don't know if you're gonna make that $10. It's not looking very promising right now. Actually, no, I think it's pretty good. Actually, let me see. Oh, oh my god. Okay, okay. What is it? We got 10 minutes. Okay, like what usually happens if we're like really close is I will kind of go a little bit beyond the kind of usual time. So our usual time for these streams is that I will go all the way to 11 because our streams are 2 hours long. But considering that we are so close to finishing, I might just kind of go past time over a little bit just so that we can finish this for you guys. You can kind of see what the final product looks like. So it's gonna be good. You know, I'm not gonna draw the other accoutrements, so to speak. I'm gonna kind of approach this like I did the lantern. We're gonna give it these grooves here. These kind of like mystical grooves. Ghost Ghost Poncho. It's like, yeah, I'll give you guys permission. You have my permission. Where's that from? You have my permission to die. That's from somewhere. Does anybody know where that's from? I'm like too busy drawing right now, so I can't really like think of where that's from. That's from somewhere. Why is that so familiar? You have my permission to die. Ah, oh, it's gonna bug me now. Ah, oh, it's from somewhere. And I feel like it's a robotic voice that says it too. Unless it's not. And I'm just tripping myself up. Oh, it's Bane! Yeah, okay. Oh my goodness. I was like, why does this sound so familiar? It's like, why can I not put my finger on, like, who is saying that? That's crazy. Yo, I love the Dark Knight trilogy, but man, I watched it not too long ago, and it holds up, especially Dark Knight. I especially Dark Knight and Batman Begins, but ooh, Dark Knight Rises does not hold up well. It is not a good. It is not a good series. I'm so sad to say that it's like it does not hold up, and I figured out why it doesn't hold up. A little Batman tangent here, but it's because Batman doesn't look good in bright light. Like conceptually, I understand where Christopher Nolan was going with when he did it, but when Batman stands in complete like daylight, he just looks goofy. Like my brain just sees that and is like, yeah, I would not be able to take that man seriously. Like, as menacing as Batman would be, if he just strutted across the street in broad daylight, especially with the Christian Bale Batman voice, that's not menacing. That's kind of just it's a little goofy. Okay, sure. He's the only one. Yeah, yeah. The Adam West is the only one where he's allowed to be in daylight and have it work. That's true. That's true. I will give you that, Kevin. But other than that one, oh man, Dark Knight Rises was a rough one. I'm so like sad too because the trilogy was good, and I was like, oh yeah, I remember watching Dark Knight Rises in theaters as well, and I was like, man, this is so good. This is awesome. And then rewatching it, I was like, oh, this does not hold up well at all. Unfortunately, it's so sad. Also, a little bit of another controversial take. I did not really like. I don't know. I think I mentioned this. The Dark Knight, right? Or no, not the Dark Knight. Batman with Robert Pattinson. He also, I don't know, it just does not work. Where when he's standing in a room full of cops, I was just like, that's not Batman. Batman doesn't do that. Why is he in a room full of cops? He does not do that. It's like a cool concept, but it doesn't work. It's just like Batman works alone and he waits till the cops are gone and then he checks out the crime scene. He doesn't go in there when there's like a room full of cops. It's just weird. It defeats climbing the dark menacing Batman doesn't make sense in it. Yeah, exactly. It doesn't feel right. Like, yeah, the suit looks good and everything, but it doesn't make sense. It doesn't work. It loses the intimidation factor of it all. So, yeah. Yeah, I do remember, I think, going through this on another stream, like talking about like how I do not like the Batman. Or 10, I should say, for the bet. That's true. I am technically going overtime, but I am going overtime so that we can finish this because I am very, very close. Okay, this is going to be where the door is. Does that make sense for where the door should be? It doesn't have to make sense. It's okay. Okay, and then we're going to shade this in, just color it in just a little bit. Not color, darken in and add the shadows for these parts of the ball building that this is based on. And we're gonna add some like sheen and everything on these so it works and matches. But yeah, and then after that we are done. And we're gonna post this later on onto Discord under live streams. So I know this is not closing statements exactly, but if you guys are curious as to like where the art pieces go, like this is your first time here on the channel and you want to see the artwork and you want to see how this looks in all its beautiful uninterrupted glory, where I'm not zooming in and out and you can kind of really zoom in and smell the flowers, so to speak, this will be posted later on in Discord. So definitely, this is like a good reason and a good time and a good excuse to join our Discord, because that is where we post everything. So if you do want to be updated with all of our posts and announcements, do check out Discord. That's the easiest way to know when we go live. Obviously, we also post it and give a little bit of a heads up during on like our YouTube page. We usually post either a day or 2 days in advance, so that is also a good way of making sure that you are updated when we go live. But Discord is also a very, very good one as well, because we are always using Discord. So yeah. I think. Oh, this one's a weird one. Here, do something like that. I think that looks better. And then we're gonna add the. Oh, gotta add the door hinge here. That's where the door is gonna go. And then we gotta add the little rock steps here. So gonna add just like a little bit of a darker shadow underneath. Have like a cast shadow underneath. And then we'll add the rocks, and I will say that that is about it. Yeah, so I'm gonna kind of post everything. I'm gonna post a little bit of the notes, gonna post the final image, and that'll be it. Add the rocks. We're just gonna do a quick, rough job of the rocks. Not gonna really spend too much time on the rocks. And then just gonna do a clean outline of the base, and then that'll be it. And then we're gonna be done. Oh my goodness, we did it. Is it gonna be a perfect ellipse? Probably not. It's gonna be a little bit probably off. Okay, there we go. I think that's about it. I'm just gonna maybe, okay, on another layer, we're just gonna add these extra little bits of ripples. Oh, right in the sign name. Oh my goodness. Okay, we're like so close. Let me just add these ripples and these, fix the shadow, and add the sign, and then we're done. And then I'll do like the actual proper closing statements for recording purposes, and then yeah, we'll be good. Hope you guys are enjoying it though, and hope you guys kind of enjoyed the building, and hopefully it looks good. I don't know if I should add these ripples. I feel like I'm not giving it its due for it. I feel like it ruins it. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I might not even add add these things. I might just like just put the building in itself and that's it. Might just do that actually. Might just put the building in itself and that's it. Okay, the sign name. What was it? Poncho's Lighthouse. How should it be? This is gonna be a test of my cursive, my handwriting skills here. Pawn. Should it be in cursive? I actually don't know if it should be in cursive actually, guys. I just realized like maybe cursive might not match the aesthetic. Poncho's Lighthouse. We're not gonna do that weird L. The proper cursive L is too ambiguous, so we're gonna go light. Light. Oh, this does not look good. Yeah. forgive my font writing. Does not look good. Light house. It is so bad. Ooh. Does not match the aesthetic of the house. It's like a cafe shop. you know, it works. Okay. Well, hope you guys enjoy this one. I think I will take away, let me see. I'm gonna take away the ellipse. I don't really think it's necessary. We don't need it. We're just gonna keep it as is, nice and sleek, kind of like a postcard from Poncho's Lighthouse. And I'm just gonna make it a little bit bigger. Oh wait, you know what? Just gonna make it a little bit bigger so that when you guys see it, it'll be a bit easier to kind of look at. It's gonna be a little bit more pixely, but hopefully it like at least matches the size. It looks like a nice little postcard, so that's kind of cool. Yeah, I'm gonna be posting this on Discord, but thank you guys for joining the stream. I know I'm a little bit over, actually not that bad, only 11:07. Hey, okay, I was overtime, but not as overtime as I thought I'd be. But hope you guys enjoyed the stream. And I hope to see you guys next time. And here are the closing statements. If you guys don't know who we are, oh, hopefully, actually, wait, let me restart. I need to get everything kind of in the proper position. Okay, cool. Hello and welcome to our stream. It is unfortunately the end of our stream, so if you are just joining us, no worries. The recording will be posted later on afterwards. The VOD will go up and you can rewatch it and kind of watch the process of how I came up with this drawing and the design of it. But if you don't know who we are Wing Canvas. Our mission here at Wing Canvas is to make art education easily accessible to everyone, so join us for free live streamed lessons every week. We're not just a YouTube channel, we're also an online school of illustration helping art nerds turn their passion into income. And also shout out to our amazing students and members for supporting our mission. We love seeing your incredible artwork and watching your skills improve in our classes and weekly critiques. So if you're an art nerd, be sure to join our Discord where you can find our notes and artwork for streams, as well as art challenges and other resources to help you improve as an artist. So yeah, that's kind of it. Be sure to like and subscribe so you guys are notified of our next videos and our next streams. And the next stream, let me check, is, where am I? Okay, April. Okay, it's going to be April 21st, and it is going to be Faye, and she's going to be doing a stream called How to Draw Impressive Architecture in Perspective. I believe that is, yeah. So that's going to be a cool one. Hope you guys are going to be looking, or hope you guys look forward to that one. That's going to be an awesome one to look forward to. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Hope you guys have a good night and a good rest of the week. See you guys later. Bye-bye. And stay safe out there, by the way. Yeah, stay safe. Bye, guys.